Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. What's our subject for today? Our subject for today is, why should you get a home inspection, or should you? Okay, I'm just saying, the topic again is, should you get a home inspection? Well, you know, when you have to buy a home, you know, a lot of times you don't got to. That's just the way it is. And I'm going to tell you a secret, guys. If you're smart, you're going to get that home inspection. You're probably saying to yourself, well, what's involved when I get my home inspection? Well, when you go to get your home inspection, what you want to do is you want to make sure that everything is working properly, at least make it at least look good and work good to the best of the ability. Some of the things that you're going to need to have is what you call a WDO. A WDO is basically looking for rotting wood. They're also looking for insects, okay, infestation, termite damage, and things like that. Maybe you've had there's some rotted wood around the bases of the windows, maybe around the doorways. And what happens is when you go into negotiations, you can have that stuff repaired. And so what happens is you get a list. So this salesperson that's going to be working with you, they're going to have a list. They're going to have a list so that they can say, hey, we need to get this done, we need to get this done. But again, it's in your ballpark. It's in your corner. You don't have to have an inspection. But if, like somebody told me a long time ago, a wise person, get an inspection. An inspection also deals with different things, like, say, for instance, your electrical. Oh my gosh, man, can you imagine having a fire because you just bought your home and you didn't have your home inspected by somebody who was an inspector? Okay, it makes a lot of sense. And see, you also have people who go out there, and if you have a septic system, take a look at your septic systems. Is there any cracks in those septic systems? Are there problems with the drain field? Are there issues that can cause you a lot of aggravation after the purchase? One of my recent customers, what they did was they had the inspector who works with those septic systems come out to the house, and they actually cleaned it completely out. Now that shows right there you got some skin in the game, because it costs about $500 or $600 just to have somebody come out there and clean that thing. But they also did a complete inspection, and they gave that inspection to us so that way we would know exactly what needed to be done, if anything needed to be done. And one of the things that they found out was that the drain field, they had some goats out there. This was out in the country, and I'm going to tell you what, it was real cool. But the inspector said that the drain field was, you know, that the animals had been digging in it and on top of it, and it was less than 1.5 inches, and it could be damaged. So they recommended that some sod be put on it, also seeded up, and more dirt to be able to be replaced on it. And that was a really great idea, because, see, you never know. The animals, they're just up there on top of that hill having a good old time. And the key to success in this regard is you want to pass your inspection, okay? Because somebody eventually is going to come out there and take a look at it and tell you if that property, which is an appraiser, going to tell you if that property needs to be fixed or damaged. And by you having an inspection done prior, you're going to have the benefit of knowing beforehand what needs to be addressed and what needs to be repaired. And you can, like I said, you can talk with the representative or the person who's selling the home and letting them know, hey, we'd like to have this done. And then you negotiate, because some things you can't get done and some things you can. Now, what else do the inspectors do? Inspectors also, they check all the toilets. They want to make sure the water's running properly. They want to check the lines. They want to check, and now this is very important, they're going to check your roof. Now, they're going to check your roof to make sure it's at least got 5 to 10 years left on it, so that way, you know, when they go to sell the house or when people go to buy the house, they ain't walking into a mess and saying, well, we got to have a brand new roof put on. Now, if you run into a situation where they find damage and things that need to be fixed, and maybe the roof is too old, they can make an offer to the seller and say, hey, look, we need you to come off of that money and at least go ahead and get the repair. Okay, I'm going to tell you what, there ain't nothing worse than a leaky roof. It sucks. So your whole goal today is, when you get an inspection done, is to make sure you've got the right people doing the right job. And also, as far as the inspector, they're going to check out that air conditioning system and that heating system. They're going to make sure that, daggone, if that thing works, it works right, okay? And I'm going to tell you what, if it ain't working right, they're going to have to make sure they get it fixed. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy, and I'm also your real estate sales guy. I'm going across the Buckner Bridge right now. That's why you're hearing all this noise in the background, but I know it's okay. Now, you can check out my website, or you can check me out at Exit Real Estate Gallery, because that's who I work for, at yourrealestatesalesguy.com. Just ask for your buddy Gary Lee. Check out all the houses that are for sale, and also make sure when you're ready to purchase something, if you see some things that you like, go ahead and put a heart on them. We'll spend some time together as friends and family and everything. Bring out everybody, and we will go take a look at those homes so you can pick the home of your dreams. Now, if you need some personal information, just give me a call at 904-662-8933. Just ask for your friend Gary Lee, and I'd love to help you, walk you through that process. You know, my simple job again today is we're talking about, let's get back on track. We're talking about, you know, why you need a home inspection, or do you? They ain't telling you need to. You can just go ahead and say, well, we'll let those people just tell us if there's something wrong. And they will. They'll tell you. But if you can go ahead and nip it in the bud, get that stuff serviced and fixed and repaired in advance, that means when they go ahead and come out there and check the whole place out to see if it's worth the price of it, they're not going to say, well, we can't do the loan on this until this gets fixed, that gets fixed, and so forth. See, some people, they want to go ahead and jump ahead because they want to buy a house. And in this market, sellers are selling really hot properties. Now, what are some other things that they do? They're going to check also the siding. They're going to check the siding to make sure the siding is good. I mean, you've got different types of siding, and if it's starting to slag or have problems and dropping stuff, those things need to be repaired. They're also going to be looking at the floors. They're going to be taking a look at your floors to make sure that the vinyl that's on it, if there's any problems with water damage, or if it's like the floor needs to be fixed or replaced, they're going to give you a heads up. So when you get that inspection, you're not just going, well, I wonder what they do for all that money. That's what they do, honey. They make sure that everything is going to be working in your favor. Now, you may not like some of the stuff that they find out. You may say, damn, I didn't want to know that much. And in this regard, they're doing it so that way you can make sure you know exactly what's going on with the home that you're about ready to buy. Why would you want to buy a home that's going to fall apart in the next week as soon as you move in? And remember this, guys. When you're getting somebody to come out and check your house for inspection, also making sure they check your water. A lot of times people who are on wells and stuff, they may have an old well. They may have a softener system and so forth, but you definitely want to have somebody test that water. It's okay, I'm just saying. Because if it ain't right, you want them to fix that water to make sure it's drinkable when you move out there. Really, really important. And on top of that, if you've got those softener systems, here's another thing. What if you got a pool? Now, you definitely want to have somebody inspect your pool. You want to have somebody inspect your motor. You want to make sure somebody makes sure the equipment is working, and at least give you an idea of how long that crap's going to last. And you also want to have an inspector check the pool liner to make sure there's no rips or tears. Or if you don't have one, you got masonite, you want to make sure that that stuff isn't pitted, and it's going to cost you $10,000 or $20,000 just to have somebody fix that beautiful pool, because pools cost a lot of money. And remember, guys, these guys are professionals. They're going to come out there. Like I said, the WDO is really important, because if you got a lot of rotten wood, you want to make sure, hey, you can still buy the house, but let's go ahead and get it repaired. So that way it'll pass inspection, okay? And another thing is you want to have somebody check the windows. They're going to check everything. They're going to check the windows to make sure that they're seated right. They're going to make sure, they're going to check your doors to make sure your doors are working properly. These folks check your electrical system inside and out. Again, they check your duct work. Listen, guys, sometimes there might be some issues with ductwork, why it's not properly air conditioning and working properly, and you want your technician, or should I say your inspector, to inspect you and give you the whole truth. Because see, here's the thing, guys, once you sell your house, it's yours, and if you don't get a home warranty on it, I'd highly recommend that you put that in the contract, so that way, you know, you can get a good home warranty for less than about $600 or $700, and that will cover a lot of the things that we just talked about, like your roof. It's going to take care of your heaters. You want to have those inspected also, guys, and you also want to have the sprinkler systems all inspected, so you can see that when you're buying a home, it's not just buying a home. You want to make sure when you buy this home that it lasts a lifetime. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy, and I'm also your real estate sales guy. We just had a very simple conversation about, hey, why should I get an inspection on my house or shouldn't I? What do you think? Damn, get an inspection. Now, here's the thing. Some people, they want to go cheap. I don't got much money. Well, you better get it and you better save it up, because you're going to literally spend probably about $500 to $600 on your basic inspection. As far as your home is concerned, you're going to spend another $500 or $600 on your septic system to clean it out and to make sure it's working properly. And that's a good investment on that right there, because that means you ain't got to have it cleaned out for another 4 or 5 years. And on top of that, you got to have your WDO. That's the insurance to make sure that those wood ain't all crumpling, and that you got termites and things like that. And that'll cost you another $200 or $300. And if you get your water inspected, you're looking at another $215. So you're roughly looking at probably about $1,500 to $1,600 to $2,000 to make sure that the investment, because look, guys, you're getting ready to buy a house. The houses ain't cheap. And if your air conditioner or something were to go out, oh my gosh, it costs an arm and a leg. I'm telling you, about $5 to $10 grand just for an air conditioning system. And make sure you get that. And if you can figure a way where you can go ahead and get them to go ahead and put a guarantee, a warranty on your home, I highly recommend it, because it will save you headaches at least for a year and give you the capability to pick it up at the end of the year. And this is a wise man once told me, if it's broken, it's damn broke, so let's make sure we get it fixed, okay? And your home is a place where you're going to rest your head. You don't want to walk into a trap. I mean, a bad trap, a place that's going to make you go, oh my gosh, honey, why did we buy this garbage dump? You want to have a peace of mind. So remember, your friend Gary Lee Stanley. I'm over here at Exit Real Estate Gallery right here in Northeast Florida. Check out my website at yourrealestatesalesguy.com. Just ask for old Gary Lee, and check out my telephone number at 904-662-8933. And remember, guys, when you're trying to sell your house, you need somebody in your corner that can help you, and you also need somebody in your corner when you need to buy a home, okay? So give me a call, and listen, guys, I hope you had a good time. We had a good conversation about why should I go ahead and get an inspection on my home. Now you know the truth. What do you think? I think you should. What about you? All